You're alone. The room is so quiet you can hear the ticking of the clock, the soft whistling of the wind outside, and even the sound of your own heartbeat. No one's there. Or at least, that's what you think. Then, suddenly, a strange feeling creeps in like someone is watching you. You don't know where it's coming from. There's no noise, no shadow, but your instincts whisper that something isn't right. The back of your neck feels warm. A chill runs down your spine. Your heart skips a beat. And in that moment, you turn your head. Nothing, just an empty room. But the feeling lingers. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people have felt the eerie sensation of being watched even when there's no one around. It's not a ghost story, and it's not a horror movie. It's a real, deeply human experience and a surprisingly mysterious one. So what's really happening inside your mind? Is your brain sounding an alarm or simply playing tricks on you? Is that sensation some kind of sixth sense or just a hallucination sparked by a lonely mind in today's video? We're going deep into the brain to uncover the real reasons why. Sometimes when you're all alone, you never truly feel alone. 1. Evolution made you paranoid. And that's a good thing. Let's go back, way back. Imagine you're an early human, living tens of thousands of years ago. You're not inside a locked house. You don't have security systems, or streetlights, or a phone to call for help. You're surrounded by wilderness, predators, and rival humans in that world. Being watched wasn't a feeling, it was a matter of survival. Our ancestors evolved to be hyper-aware of danger, especially when they were alone. A rustle in the bushes might be wind, or it might be a saber-toothed cat. The human brain learned early on that false alarms were better than no alarms. If you thought something was watching you and ran, even when there was nothing there, you survived. If you ignored the feeling and got eaten, well, you didn't pass on your genes. This is why your brain is wired to detect unseen threats, that twitchy, paranoid feeling you sometimes get. That's your brain's ancient defense system. It's the result of evolution. Fine-tuning your threat detection radar. Even today, when you're home alone, that system hasn't gone away. In fact, it still fires off when your senses pick up even the tiniest cues, a creaking floorboard, a flicker of light, a shadow in the corner of your eye. It doesn't matter that you're safe. Your brain still plays it safe just in case. So no, you're not imagining things. You're experiencing what millions of years of survival instinct feel like in modern life. 2. Pareidolia. When your brain sees faces that aren't there. There's a name for what your brain does when it creates something out of nothing. Pareidolia. It's the reason you see faces in clouds, a man on the moon, or a creepy figure in your coat hanging on the door. Your brain is obsessed with finding human shapes, especially faces. It's such an important part of our survival that our visual system is trained to look for facial features even in total randomness. Here's what happens. You're in a dim room. You catch a glimpse of a shadow in the corner. Your brain, desperate to make sense of it, fills in the blanks. It doesn't just see a shadow, it might see two eyes, a nose, a head shape. Suddenly, it feels like a person is there, even though it's just your laundry pile. Scientists have shown that when people stare at static images in low light, they often report seeing faces, eyes, or figures that aren't there. Your brain is predictive. It tries to guess what's coming based on partial data, and in low visibility. It's more likely to overcorrect toward social threats. This is why your brain might conjure up a phantom presence, especially when you're alone and slightly anxious. It's trying to protect you, even if that means inventing a watcher that doesn't exist. 3. The silent alarm. Your brain's surveillance system. Let's talk about your brain's internal security system. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala. It processes fear and emotional memory. It's like your personal alarm bell, when something even might be threatening. The amygdala lights up. Then there's the thalamus, the relay station for sensory data. It filters the world around you and sends information to different brain areas. When you hear a creak behind you, your thalamus sends that to your auditory cortex. But it also pings your amygdala. Hey, could be danger. Now add the superior colliculus, which helps detect sudden movement in your visual field, especially in peripheral vision, that corner of the eye feeling of movement. That's the superior colliculus saying, heads up. These systems are all working behind the scenes, constantly scanning your surroundings, and they're hypersensitive when you're alone because your brain assumes you have no backup. Even a minor cue, a flickering light, a drop in temperature, can trigger a low-level fight-or-flight response. But here's where it gets weirder. The brain doesn't wait for proof. If there's a gap in information, a missing piece of the puzzle, it fills it in with its best guess. Sometimes that guess is, there's someone behind you. Think of it like predictive text, but for fear. Your brain is finishing the sentence before you're even aware of it, and once that feeling kicks in, your body follows, heart races, breath shortens, muscles tense. You're ready to run, even if nothing's there. That's the silent alarm. You don't hear it, but you feel it, and it makes you think someone's watching. 4. Emotion changes perception. Let's say you're walking through your house at night. Same place you've walked 1,000 times. But tonight, you're anxious. You just watched a true crime documentary. Or maybe you had a stressful day. Or maybe you're just feeling lonely. Suddenly, every sound feels louder. Every corner seems darker, and the silence feels heavy. Why? Because emotions change perception. Studies show that people who are anxious or lonely are more likely to report feeling watched or followed even when nothing's there. Their brains are primed to detect social threats. It's called hypervigilance. Your emotional state acts like a filter. If you're calm, a creaking floor is just old wood. If you're scared, it's someone sneaking up on you. The stimulus didn't change. You did. In fact, there's research suggesting that people under stress can misinterpret neutral stimuli. A coat on a chair becomes a person, a breeze becomes footsteps, and loneliness itself plays a role. When people feel socially isolated, their brains become more sensitive to signs of other people, even imagined ones. It's like your mind is trying to fill the social gap by fabricating a presence, and that presence sometimes feels like someone watching. This doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is deeply social, and it craves connection, even in eerie ways. 5. Is it a sixth sense, or just good instinct? Here's a thought. Is it possible that sometimes you really are picking up on something? Humans might not have a sixth sense in the mystical way, but we're incredibly sensitive to micro cues, tiny sounds, light changes, even shifts in air pressure. Sometimes, what feels like a gut feeling is actually your brain processing subtle data faster than you can think. So while 99% of that someone's watching sensation is probably false alarm, maybe 1% of the time, your subconscious really did notice something before you could name it. Creepy. Sure, fascinating. Absolutely. So the next time you're alone in your room, and that quiet, invisible weight presses against your back, pause, breathe, and remember, you're not being haunted. You're being protected. That eerie feeling. It's not a flaw in your brain. It's a feature. It's millions of years of evolution whispering, stay alert, stay alive. It's your mind looking out for you, even when you don't ask it to. But here's the powerful part, you don't have to be afraid of that feeling. You can notice it, thank it, and let it go. And maybe, just maybe, the more we understand how our minds work, the less alone we feel in those quiet, uncomfortable moments. Not because someone's watching us, but because we've learned to watch ourselves with kindness, curiosity, and calm. So tonight, if the shadows seem to shift, and you feel that invisible gaze, again smile. You're not broken. You're beautifully human. And now, you know why.